Welcome to AI Trust Talks. This season is special. We're launching the Road to SAP Connect 2026, which is a series of conversations exploring what it truly means to build connected, intelligent, and trusted enterprises in the age of AI. At AI Trust Talks, we believe that technology alone doesn't transform organizations, people do. AI is powerful, but power without trust is fragile. That's why this partnership matters. SAP Connect 2026 is more than an event. It's a moment, it's a platform where leaders, partners, innovators, policymakers, and technologists come together to explore how AI can strengthen connection across industries, ecosystems, and generations. Our mission at AI Trust Talks has always been clear: to elevate the conversation around AI beyond the hype and toward responsibility, collaboration, and meaningful impact. We believe human and AI connection must coexist. Collaboration accelerates safe and responsible innovation, and everyone should have a voice in shaping how AI evolves. AI is not being built in isolation. It's being built by people across enterprises, governments, and communities. And bringing those conversations to the forefront with the leaders delivering real-world impact is exactly where we want to take AI Trust Talks. This is the road to SAP Connect 2026. Let's begin. So, Marwan, thank you so much for joining us on AI Trust Talks.
Thank you for hosting me.
As we lead up to the drive of SAP Connect Day this year, I want us to have a really good conversation about where we think the business is going, where we think SAP is going, and then the wider organization of the UAE across industries as well. So, SAP Connect is really all about alignment. From your perspective, why is it so important for leaders to all get in a room together, not just to learn AI or about AI, but what it really means for an organization?
Alignment is key in any initiative, but in AI specifically, I think this is super important. It's within the organization and within the external organizations as well. Let's take it within the organization itself when you want to implement AI. It's very important that to have the alignment across all the different stakeholders, different functions, and so on. So you get the best out of AI. You as an organization, you have to connect with other organizations because AI by itself is not the ultimate goal. At the end, we want to get business outcome that will help my organization in collaboration with other organizations. SAP Connect is a great platform for all these organizations, for all these leaders. Technically, all decision makers in the country, they will be present in that platform. We will have, of course, many experts from outside the country as well, where we will be talking about what we have today and what we are planning to have in the future. And at the same time, enrich this with all this networking and listening to all the customers, to all the organizations, being private or public sector customers, what are their goals, what they are trying to achieve, and at the end, help them achieve this in the right way. At the same time, we have a big number of partners, SAP partners, who will be present there because we cannot do it alone. We need to have our partners with us from different angles, delivery or software part, and so on. So really, SAP Connect is the platform that every year where we bring everyone together under one roof to agree on this and make sure we are putting the right, what we call business AI strategy for all our customers in the country.
I think that's really great. And I think there's some really exciting points that we can look out for coming up for SAP Connect. So you stepped into the MD role at SAP at a time where digital transformation was really doubling down in the UAE. How does it shape your view of AI as a foundational infrastructure rather than just a shiny new opportunity?
To be frank, I'm lucky, like many of the people who are in UAE, because we are in a country where everyone in the country wants to be number one. They want to take innovation to the next level, from the government side, from the private sector side. So eventually, it's a great opportunity for a technology company like SAP to test all these innovations and And I'm happy to share with you that most of our latest innovations around AI were piloted with many of our customers here in the country. Now, the excitement comes as well, as you said, I mean, when AI was there are a lot of hype. This is normal with any new technology that will come to the market. But I think if you look at it now, and you can see that UAE specifically, and SAP as well, of course, we are now in the next level, right? So we are not anymore in the piloting phase, because many organizations, and it's, I mean, the numbers, if you look at the numbers globally, locally, many of these AI projects failed, and people analyze why these projects failed, why we didn't get the right outcome of these use cases, and so on. I mean, I heard once a very nice statement. So you should ask yourself as an organization, if you switch off AI today, what is the impact? If the impact is small, then you are still in the innovation and piloting phase. If the impact is high, I cannot stop, my operation will stop if I stop AI, then you are on the right track. And this is going to your point. It's not about having a nice use case in HR or finance or procurement or sales, and now I have AI in my organization. This is history. Now it is about showcasing this collaboration and having AI as a platform and infrastructure as well. So you can have new business model, new revenue streams, best customer experience, best employee experience within the organization. So this is how we have to think about AI. It's not about buying a nice tool that we saw somewhere on social media or whatever that will help me to automate a process, which is maybe 1 or 2% of my organization business processes. So today, this maturity is there in UAE with many organizations. Globally as well, there are many organizations who are in this stage. We at SAP, I think, we did the right thing by having the right strategy. So our CEO, Christian Klein, since day one, I think, he put the right vision for SAP Business AI. For example, just to give you some example, well, he was, by the way, he was criticized big time, especially in Germany. Why SAP, the biggest business application organization globally and in Germany and Europe, why you don't have your own LLM? I mean, he was criticized till the moment of DeepSeek. And at that point of time, everyone realized that LLMs will be a commodity. This is not the real thing. You will have LLM, which will help you in a certain use case, but in another use case, you need another LLM, and so on. So we focus in SAP on a couple of things. We made sure that the platform is open to work with any LLM that is in the market, or it can come in the future. We had an advantage also, to be fair, against other players in AI or business AI world, that we have the processes, the business application, the rules of the organizations already defined in our system. What we had to do, we had to make sure, before we jump to the full AI platform, is to have to make sure the data piece, because, you know, data is fuel, utility, whatever you want for that platform or that infrastructure. We did it in the best way in collaboration with some of the big players in that area. So we have partnerships with Databricks, with Snowflake, with Microsoft, with Google. So we built what we call Business Data Cloud, BDC, that allowed us to take all the SAP and non-SAP data in one place, real time, same semantics, so you don't confuse the AI models and so on. So once you have the processes and the business rule, you have the data on the top, and then you can build whatever AI you want on top of the AI platform delivered by SAP. And again, it could be some tools from AI, tools from SAP, or from other players as well. The key that we build the full foundation for our customers, and we did it very fast. I mean, you know, these, because AI is moving every day, so we moved from the machine learning to the embedded AI that we have, then to agentic AI, and so on. And this really, in UAE specifically, this is, as I told you, whenever there's something new, we go test it. You know, like this Business Data Cloud, almost all our top customers today, they implemented it already, or they are in the process of implementing it, and so on. We are in a very exciting era today here in UAE, where we are moving very fast in the right pace to get the real outcome. I will not say we are 100% successful. I mean, it depends also from one organization to the other. For sure, we are on the right track.
I love the story and the part around what the strategy was set for business AI. And even if you did get backlash, you still pursued it. And at the end of the day, you've built the foundations, and we know the foundations are key to actually drive the AI success. If you walked into a truly connected enterprise today using AI like we do electricity, what would you feel immediately? And what would be different in the way the teams operate or execute their tasks?
Let me first tell you what we have in SAP in terms of AI, and then I will take you to a proper organization or connected organization where they are really getting the best and most out of the AI. The AI story is very simple. We have the processes, the rules, we have the data layer with BDC and so on, and then we have the AI platform where you can run different stuff. Now, within AI, if I want to take it to the next level of details, we have three things. First, we have what we call the embedded AI. So throughout the processes, you will already have AI part of any process, order to cash, hire to retire, and so on. Today, we delivered so far more than 400 embedded use cases. And by the end of the year, this will cross the 1,000 embedded use cases. Then we have Joule, which is the Copilot of SAP, which is also open and integrated like Microsoft Copilot and other Copilots. But really, Joule is the place where it is orchestrating, if you want, all the AI capabilities of SAP and non-SAP. And then you have the agentic part. And the agentic part has two parts. Some AI agents or AI assistants that are built by SAP. Today, we have more than 2,400 skills that you can go build your own AI agent and select the skills you want for that agent. More than 40 AI agents available today. But the beauty that we are giving the studio for the customers to build their own AI agents, and we keep enhancing the skills and so on. And on top of this, we do custom AI. So you might go to a certain industry where we don't have the full AI use case that the customer is looking for. So this is where we can collaborate with them, with other AI players, and we build what we call custom AI. Again, maintaining the same foundation that I talked about. Now, going to your question, if an organization has the rules, the processes, they have the data, and they are using Joule, they are using the embedded, they are enabling the relevant because embedded AI is nothing but, for me, is a commodity now because it just make things automated, right? It's more efficiency operation in certain processes and so on. The key value is in the agentic AI piece. Last year, we showed something very interesting where the customers saw the agents working together and fixing a certain business problem. This year, we are taking it to the next level. So if you go to a connected enterprise, implementing AI in the right way, as infrastructure, as a platform, then you will see a seamless process where order to cash will have a lot of AI and automation throughout of it. The AI agents talking to each other and taking decisions with the support of humans. And if you are doing this, this means you are freeing time for the executives, for the people, the employees who used to do this redundant or job. And this will give the organization not only cost savings, efficiency, and so on. It's really giving them time to innovate and think more about the strategies, what's next, and so on. And they have this powerful tool with them that will help them grow and grow and grow.
Really helps organizations' strategies to do more in the end. And we'll touch on employees and the impact to humans as we come up. Are you seeing good success stories with agentic AI at the moment? Do you think organizations are ready to adopt agentic, or are we still at the foundational stage?
To have really success, a real success in AI and agentic AI, first you need the leadership. So the organization leadership that they have to buy into the AI and implement it in the right way. Second, you need to make sure you upskill your team to be ready for that. And third, that you have the foundation, the tools. I mean, if I have everything and I don't have the right data, it will fail. If I don't have the processes that will bring or generate the data, it will fail. If I have the best tool and I don't have the people and the leadership mindset there, it will fail. Really, success is, as I told you, is different from one organization to the other. But I can tell you, we are working with some customers on what we call autonomous ERP. So automating the full process through using only Joule, for example. So technically, I go to Joule and I talk to Joule, even I don't have to type, to say, okay, get me my balance sheet. I have this dispute coming from one of my customers. The dispute agent will talk to the finance agent. The finance agent will talk to the procurement agent. So this full process to happen today, is it happening 100% with many customers? No. But you will see some successes in certain areas like procurement, finance, and so on. Reaching the full autonomous is not far. As I told you, we are already doing many of these pilots as we speak. But very soon, this is really the big success, the game changing. In the same industry in UAE, you can see two big players. One of them is more ready than the other. So it really depends. But the good thing, everyone has wants, and part of their goals is to have AI implemented as soon as possible. We have currently implementations going on for the ERP or finance and HR. From now, we push the customer. You have to think about AI. It's not about you go live and then you think, no, from now, we should have, when we go live, we should have AI in place and available for all your customers or employees.
So it's part of the architectural design. It's not just an afterthought. You've said that success gets you excited every day. What mindset shift do leaders really need to have moving from just an AI product into a really truly AI-powered organization?
I think one of the big mistakes I personally witnessed with some of the leaders here, as I said, they were into the hype of AI. Let's try AI in this use case. Automating, I don't know, I have a lot of manual invoices, let's do AI and so on. And then this work, and then we implement it, and then they discover, sorry, the value, maybe I'm paying cost for the new tool and whatever more than if I did it manually. So the mindset is very important. And here, I think the leaders are not still getting it in the right way, because you as a leader, you have to build the systems or the AI to take decisions, but you have to build the full collaboration, and you give the rules for the system to take the decisions. So technically, it's not on you anymore to take the decisions, but you have to train the system to take the decision that you used to take. Once you have this mindset, then your role as a leader in the organization, and this applicable to the CEO, or if you are head of a certain line of business. So today you have to imagine if instead of me, I have an AI agent or set of AI agents doing my job, what type of intelligence I need to give them? What are the things they should take into consideration to take the right decisions? If you think that way, so your role as a leader is really to orchestrate and design how these AI agents will work together. And of course, at the same time, even if you have that mindset and you have the tools, as I told you before, I have to make sure the people in my organization are ready and upskilled to do that. As I told you, there are a lot of statistics that 90% of the AI projects fail or pilots and so on. Only 40% they saw some ROI and so on. It's not always the technology that failed. Most of the time, it's people. Either because the people who were using or implementing, they had the wrong mindset, or they didn't have the skills. We didn't train them enough to use and understand how they should use these tools. So really the mindset of the leadership in an organization is the key thing. And really, it's not about showing a success and going throughout the news and social media. It's about their vision today that they have for their organization in the coming 5 of 10 years, how I can have AI to accelerate that vision, and how I make AI as smart as, or even smarter than me, to help me do this type of decision while I'm the person who is monitoring this and helping in designing all of this. So this is really where I think the mindset of leaders should be. And this is something we at SAP, I mean, between you and me, the last 2 years, most of our investment in our people is around upskillings around AI. There are a lot of AI tools within SAP that we use on daily basis, and we encourage our team people to use them. Some of the stuff that might take half an hour to go check some details around some customer in the system, now you can do it in a few seconds. So if your people start using this, and then this is where you can really achieve the vision that you set as a leader for the organization.
I really like what you said here, and I think it's becoming apparent that if an organization doesn't have good documented processes, or there's no documented process for a go live or an agreement, if you don't have that in place, AI is not going to make it any more successful. It's going to make it worse. To have that foundational, not just the technology foundations, but the business process foundations as well. So AI can either fragment or connect an organization. What have you seen that really makes a difference?
That's a very good question. In fact, AI can amplify silos or amplify connectivity. And this going to my previous point, it's about how you design it. So if you build a use case of an AI for finance team that will work totally different from AI use case for procurement or HR, they might be successful within the finance team and the HR, but then if you look at the whole picture, then the AI is doing nothing but creating more silos between these businesses. It will result at a big failure at the C level or at the business owner's level. AI should be, as I said, built in a way where it is helping in connectivity and creating this collaboration model between the different businesses. And without this, it's for sure a failure. I mean, as I told you, some use cases that you are using and you are proud of today, that might be a reason for your failure in the future if you are looking at the big picture, the vision, and so on. Because today we're not looking about a technology that will die in 1 year or 2 years or 5 years. This is our life going forward. And if we don't do the foundation now, we will be late after 5 years to look again and create the foundation. This is where AI is key in building this connectivity among the different line of businesses within the organization. And this is going back to your previous question about the leadership and the mindset. We should from now think about the big picture and not just talk about silos, because really AI will be working in the opposite way if you go with the silos type of AI projects.
I think this is such a key point because you do see in big organizations a siloed approach to AI adoption. We want it for this bit here, but then, there's similarities and can we kind of bring that connection together? So let's talk a bit about SAP Connect Day and the real alignment around what we want to bring there. So from your perspective, why is it so important for leaders to gather in the one room, not just to learn and talk about AI, but to really align on what that means for an organization?
First, these type of events, as I said, other than showcasing some, by the way, some of the stuff that we'll showcase might not be available today. We might be showcasing that may be available after a few months or 1 year and so on. Having the leaders there, it will show them exactly what we're discussing today. So we'll show them live these tools, how it works, how it failed, how it works better. And this is where we are helping or we are impacting positively this organization and those leaders to think in the proper way. Now, the good thing that after you attend the SAP Connect, and this happened also last year, we received a lot of requests from those leaders who attended it to bring our experts. So we will be very busy after the event itself, where we have our experts locally and globally to sit and help those leaders to create really the roadmap and the proper AI strategy going forward. Believe me, in some cases, we were able in helping in the business operation model itself. So before even we jump onto the AI, because as you said, we noticed there's something wrong in the process. So let's first think about the process. You have something wrong here that we have to fix. Either go implement the best practice of SAP or let's fix it first. And then we look at the big picture. Attendance of the SAP Connect, it will help to amplify that message from SAP, impact the customer, and show them this in the right way. And as I told you, it's not only SAP. We have many of our partners who will be there, who will also be showing something similar or showing some of their tools. And the good thing in this platform, this is where we and the customers and the partners, we talk about the failures and the success. So when you talk about these things, you go back to your office and you start thinking, how can I amplify and make my vision better, avoiding the wrong stories or wrong examples and failures that I saw in the event itself. Plus, also, it will help after the event, we connect these customers together so they can have one-to-one discussions with each others. Sometimes, of course, we receive requests, oh, you mentioned customer X in Europe or US who's doing a great job in this area. Can you help me to connect with them? So we bring this collaboration together between the two customers so they can talk, learn from each other. The event is about creating a platform for all the businesses in UAE. And by the way, we have almost more than 60% of the attendance, and they are not SAP customers. They want to go check what SAP has and what type of a technology. They want to talk to our customers because maybe in the coming few months or weeks, they are deciding on the technology and so on. So really the success of this event is making sure we have the right audience and the right C-level, as you said, and with the support of our partners and our experts who will be present in the event, we will be able to achieve business outcome that our customers are expecting from us.
I really like this approach you're taking to say we're going to showcase to customers what's coming in the future because they need to be prepared and they need to be ready. And there's so many steps within an organization to get ready, whether it be the strategy or the foundations. And just bringing those partners and customers together in the one room is really key. So I want us to stick a bit on impact because we know how impactful AI will be. You've helped organizations across UAE move from experimentation into real, true transformation. When you look at the ones that actually can scale AI, what's the difference in their behavior?
Most of those customers who were successful in implementing the right AI strategy and the right AI tools, and as I told you, no one really reached the 100% or the perfection in that success, but they are on the right track. What those customers are thinking, and if you sit with the leaders and the people who are involved in these type of projects, it's a totally different discussion from another customer, as I said, in the same industry. One of our customers here is using AI to create a new raw material that will create a product so that they can manufacture a product that is different level or world class. It will make, for example, the product they have today 2x better than what they are delivering to their customers. So AI is helping them to create this new raw material. We have other customers who have started thinking, you know what, okay, we have success with our customer experience, but this is not really the ultimate customer experience we want. So let's work with AI to see how we can take it to the next level. And this is where really innovation will come to place. And this is creativity. And this is what we want to achieve out of AI, right? So we want to forget about this automation of the normal back office stuff. And I want now AI to put me at a level so I start thinking that way. And to be frank, last year when we were in the event, we had some of our chief AI officer was there and some of chief also product officer for data and so on. And we arranged some of these one-to-one meetings with some of these customers that I mentioned. Even our experts were really impressed what those customers are trying to achieve. Again, this is really the right thinking and the right way of thinking of AI. And as I told you again, I have no doubts that UAE, if we continue with the same pace, will be one of the leading countries when it comes to AI innovation and adoption.
We're already on that trajectory right now, and it's good to see it keep going. What do you think, in your experience, is the moment when a pilot stops being just a science experiment and really starts delivering true value?
Now the customers start to become very mature around this topic. And now when they do pilots, they do it on top of platform. If you are still doing pilots for certain use cases here and there, you are still really you still don't have a roadmap technically. And as I told you before, I mean, if you switch AI, this customer has zero impact on his business. So it's clear. But it's happening already. Some customers pass this simple silo pilots and so on. Others, no, they're still into that phase. Some customer didn't even start, maybe. They are waiting for the others to be successful to see what they want to do. But this is normal. I mean, this is life. And when you have a new technology, you have to go through these different milestones. What I can say, I mean, if I look 2 years ago and now in UAE, really, there are big steps that were done already. And the most important part that UAE government is working on is the infrastructure piece. So, and this is unique, by the way. I mean, many people are underestimating it, but what's happening in the different AI data centers that are being built in the country as well. This is next level because people will feel it after 1 or 2 years. When we start consuming this, then where are the data center? What type of energy needed for this data center? I mean, the UAE government is already thinking about this or was thinking about this many years ago, and they are in the plan of execution. I mean, I saw some of the data centers that were announced few months ago, like in 6 months, they will be live. And this is very important because you don't want to create bottlenecks for the economy and the business and so on. So this is why I said at the beginning that we are really lucky to be in a country like UAE because we have the government driving the right innovation, the right mindset, and helping in the infrastructure itself. And we have the government and the private organization that they are in parallel building their business models and the roadmaps. So at one point of time, this will be fully accelerated. And this is what AI about, right? Accelerating all these innovations and getting better economy, better life for the citizens, for the residents, and so on. So, and this is really what excites me really in UAE.
Yeah, I think I agree. Just what we're seeing happening in the country is just incredible. Again, leadership driving that strategy, driving those initiatives. And we're seeing some really, really good leadership happening at the moment for various other reasons. Let's stick to UAE being the ambitious market. How do you help leaders balance the need of wanting to drive that ambition and adopt AI, but also balancing the safety and the responsible side of AI deployment?
I will say 2 years ago, it was the main topic when people were afraid about AI and the things that AI was, I mean, when we show how AI is working and so on. And see, still, this is a big risk. But I will explain to you something very interesting. If you are talking about AI in general, I would say this is still a big topic, and government and policymakers will have and still will have big role in making sure the AI governance and security and all this trust will be in place. But the beauty about what we do, then that's why we call it business AI, because it's somehow controlled. At the end, the AI outcome of SAP or any tool built on SAP technology, you have your processes, you have your rules, you have your data. So, and if I have the AI with the right governance, and this is something we are doing on daily basis, then it should not go wrong because it's your data. I mean, if there's something wrong, then there's something wrong with your data. And if there's something with the business rule you define, then you define the wrong business rule, which in all cases, if you have AI or not have AI, you'll be getting the wrong stuff. So, but still, on top of this, you need to have your proper governance there, right? And the challenge we faced also at that time, and it's still, I think it's a challenge here, how to balance between the rules, policies, the governance, and also not killing the AI and the innovation and so on. Today, as SAP, I mean, we always, while we're building the AI strategies with the customer, governance is key because it's not only about the governance within the tool itself, which I will say we are doing 95% of the job, but still the governance within the organization and how they will deal also with the external parties, customers or other vendors, suppliers, and so on. This is also very important to be in place and proper. Again, going back to UAE, the good thing about UAE government, they always have sessions. I was part of many sessions, by the way, with the government, where other technology leaders, other business owners, they were invited to discuss these type of topics. And at the end, when you see the policy coming or the governance is in place, it will take all this input into consideration. So that balance is key, I think, between what you should put as governance and how you don't kill the innovation and technology. But this is one of the top critical points for AI to be successful as well, because at the end, you have to make sure it's controlled. As I said, in a business context, I would say it's less risky if you are doing the right thing. In a bigger context, if you are talking about our kids, about social media, about other stuff, the risk is much higher.
It's our job to make sure we train the vulnerable and keep them up to speed with what's going on. If you were advising boards today, what would you tell them to measure that actually reflects the true value in AI rather than traditional KPI methods we might look at?
The basic stuffs will be first the business value. So they have to see a business value, right? Business value means higher revenue, profit, and all the stuff that the board will care about. This should be there. I mean, if you don't have this, everything else is nice to have. Second is, of course, efficiency within the organization. Efficiency. So, as we said, through the different processes, so you can give the employees more time to collaborate, to innovate, for leaders to think in a different way, and so on. Making sure the governance is still in place and even better than it was before. So, this is also very important. And then, really having or measuring how AI can help me in building my vision for the coming, as I told you, 5, 10 years and so on. If I am sitting in a board and the team is presenting for me these 4 or 5 KPIs, with real examples from my organization, this is, I would say, really, we did a great job. If you still you don't get the business or you are getting some business revenue, but the efficiency is not proper, or the governance is not there, this still has to be fixed, else you will have problems at one point of time.
Yeah. And what are some of the subtle signals, whether it be cultural, behavioral, operational, that tell you if transformation is truly taking hold?
If you have a happy customer and if you have a happy employee, I think this is where you can measure it. I mean, you go to the basics, to be frank. If today in any organization, and this is known maybe since businesses started throughout the human history, if your customer is happy and your employee is happy, and you are getting the right revenue, profit, and so on, then this is really the success that you want to achieve. At the end, AI is nothing but a tool that's helping us to bring all of these quicker and faster. Yeah. And this is where the key part, when you build all these roadmaps, vision, and so on, that you look at these at the end. Because today, if any of these is not there, then this will for sure have an impact on the business, whatever is the business is. Uh, and this is where the upskilling part is very important for your team. So you cannot blame your team that they are frustrated, they are not happy, so on, if you don't also invest in them to help them to be on this new wave of technology and so on. So really, this is how I will measure it, and as simple as that.
I really like that you've put customer and employee happiness first. I mean, when we talk about riding the AI hype, yes, AI could solve many things, but is that truly the products you need delivered? What is the customer problem statement or the employee problem statement you're trying to solve for, before we say if AI is the right tool to fix that? So, what are some of the conversations you hope leaders will have at SAP Connect that will really help them to move from ambition to execution?
The key thing, or what I really hope all the all the C-level people who will be attending the event, I mean, every person who's attending the event should go with an open mindset. You might see stuff that you might not be convinced with, so you might say, sorry, this is something that they are dreaming of, or this showing us that something will never happen, or it will never work in my organization. So having the open mindset is key. And then listening to other customers who did it before, trying to challenge also us and the partner is key. And this will help the whole dialogue and the whole discussion around the roadmap and the business outcome that you will get out of AI. Because if you don't have this open mindset to have all these discussions, and again, most of the time, I will tell you, the customers are right. And we are building our tools since day one. And we have, in fact, councils, like we have a retail council, we have a banking finance council, we have public sector council. How we are making our innovation is based on the input from those customers. So really, we have also a big role as SAP and partner. We listen to what the customer are saying, and we challenge as they challenge us as well. At the end, the key is the outcome out of it, right? Um, and then building the right level of partnership. And we are so lucky in UAE for the previous few years. We really were able to build this level of partnership and trust with our customers here. And you will see the SAP team or the customer team, they work as one team. I always say to the CEOs I meet frequently that SAP team should be your team. In fact, they spend more time with your team than they spend with SAP colleagues and so on. So if you have this right, proper collaboration, and they have this open mindset, I think this is where they will really get their best out of such event.
I really like that you've used the word trust in there, not just because we're on AI Trust Talks, because it is fundamental to any business, right? If you don't trust your partners, you're not going to be able to deliver collectively with them to customers. So that is essentially what we're all trying to achieve, is that trusted ecosystem around us. So we've talked a bit about humans, and I want us to deep dive a bit more into them. You've spoken about wanting to improve people's lives through technology. As AI systems become more intelligent, what does human connection really look like in the future?
I think this is a big question, and it's on us as a humans to decide how we want this to work. We can take it to the left or we can take it to the right. And this is where the maturity of all decision makers, and if we're talking about the family, the parents in the family, how they put the rules that will help to make sure we are doing and using it in the right way. Because if we want to do it in the right way, as I told you before, in the business context, I should have a happy customer, I should have a happy employee, I should have a happy board, I have happy CEO, and so on. Which means the AI is doing 90% of what I was doing as a routine job today. It's helping me, it's taking decision on my behalf, and it's giving me insight to build a new strategy for the future. So technically, it's giving more time to be more innovative as a human being, as a leader, and so on. While if I do the opposite, which means now AI is doing my job, and then I'm not using this free time that's giving to me, or I'm using AI to fire people instead of upskilling people and use their skills to collaborate more and innovate more and so on, then really I'm taking it to the wrong direction. And this is from a business context. If we look also from a other personal, or as I said, as is within the family, then this is where also AI can be used in the wrong way. So it's really on us as a human beings to use this like any technology that we've faced throughout the last 100 to 100 years and so on. We can use it in the right way or we can use it in the wrong way. And this is where I think also government and policymakers play a role to make sure also there are certain standards that we should respect as organizations or as technology providers who are building this technology that we have to maintain as a minimum to avoid this wrong usage of the technology or wrong outcome of the technology itself.
Definitely aligned on those points. Where do you think we as humans even are on this pipeline? Do we have more education to do to those that might not be in the AI business or understand the risks it might have? Do you think we've got a way to go to kind of with that literacy side?
I think we are at a certain point of time. We have to take some tough decisions. It starts with the educational system. I mean, your kids, my kid, and I think the current educational system is the wrong one for those kids. What they are doing outside schools, to be frank, is more helpful to them what they're doing within the school. So, and I met, by the way, part of my job, I meet many of the head of universities here. In fact, they come approach me because they want to put their plans of what the job market looks like after 2 or 3 years and so on. I always tell them, guys, you have to first look at your system to say how it's helping those students or graduates to this AI era and so on. So I think there should be some decisions taken on different angles. One is the educational system itself on different levels, starting from schools, universities, and so on. Also on organizations level, we should change our operating model to cope with this new technology and this new way of life. And of course, at the end, it end up with us as a human beings, as I told you, to really do the right thing and use this technology to our benefit and not use it in the wrong way. We have to keep in anything we do, if it's AI or not, we have to keep the human empathy part of it. We cannot just keep it for the machines to do the job. So that's the key point. And this is where, as I told you, it might go left or right. So we have to always be careful about this. And when you put even your AI strategy within your organization, you have to have one of the KPIs, my employees, my customers. You have to keep the human empathy part of it. And in all cases, a human should always play a role in whatever strategy you are putting or whatever technology you are implementing. And this is exactly what we'll be showing when we show, yes, we might show a full automated process, agents talking to agents, talking to robots, doing all of this stuff. But at one point of time, this is all human related because today, imagine we have all this AI technologies and we don't have all this information. Who created the information today for these agents on the web. And so it's us, the humans. So if we stop creating this type or innovating and putting all this type of knowledge, then the AI agents will not work properly. Uh, so this human angle is key, and we should be very careful how we tackle it from different areas, being the educational system, being the governments, policymakers, and so on, and of course organizations and so on, and us as families and parents. And
Yeah, it is. I think we've all got a really key role to play in the future of this as well, in protecting humans. You've led large teams through change, and we know that a lot of the AI development is also around change management as well. What actually builds confidence when the AI is introduced?
it's like any change, right? So you'll always go through this chart. So you go to in order to reach the peak of productivity and so on after a certain change, you have to go through the full journey. The most successful organizations who can quickly move from the bottom to the top are the ones who will put the right strategy when it comes to change management. I mean, if I take example about myself, for the last 2-3 years, I personally did a lot of changes within my organization in UAE, and many people, they complain about this, that we keep changing the structure, we keep changing all of this. But to be frank, after very short period of time, uh, you will see the results. Of course, not all the decisions were always the correct decisions, but all the changes we did, they helped the business and they put us on the right track to cope with what coming in terms of technology and what our customers expect us to do. So I will say it's like any change. We have to be very smart to promote and communicate and upskill our team, uh, and make sure that we create this bonding across the teams, that we achieve the success together. Because the worst thing that can happen in any change, that most of your team members, they are against it, and you took long time to convince them with the change and so on. This will lead for sure directly to the failure. In AI specific, we have to act very fast. That's the big challenge we have, that you don't have months maybe or even weeks to do with that. I remember last year I told my team, I give you 2 days to cry, and after that we move on. So you have to move fast, right? So you are either we are able to convince you and this is the right thing or so on, and then we move ahead with this. And if there's something wrong, we have to together fix it throughout the journey, or you are in the wrong place, right? So we have to put really the machine and make sure it's working as it should be.
Leaders have to make tough decisions sometimes, and that communication and open dialogue to understand and hear people's fears, and people are fearing AI a lot. But allowing that space, but then also having to put a stop on it to say, right, this is the decision, we're moving with this, and we need to all move forward together. You're either on the bus or you're not.
Correct. Yeah.
So it's,
Because this human fear is by
yeah,
nature, we have it. So it's on us as leaders to help our colleagues, our teams to cross it very quickly. Because as I told you, many of the failures in AI pilots and whatever, it was because of the humans who were leading or having a big role in these things because of the pushback or the fear of the change and so on. So it's on us really to handle this in the right way.
yeah, it is. So you've been deeply involved in cross industry collaborations and conversations from sustainability to data centers to AI innovation. Why do ecosystems matter so much now in AI maturity and really getting organizations to that game of being on board?
I think AI specifically as a technology or ecosystem and collaboration, as I mentioned many times, maybe throughout the last few minutes, is key. No one can do it alone. So neither the customers can do it alone, nor SAP can do it alone, nor SAP partners can do it alone. It has to be a full ecosystem that should be working together. Private sector organization cannot do it if they don't have the right support from the government, infrastructure, and so on. So really, it's becoming more and more these type of technologies. And in fact, this is our life today. If you don't have the proper ecosystem supporting you in general, then it will not be as successful, or it will not give you the results that you are aiming for. So if you talk about AI specifically, as I said, so technology-wise, there are many players that should be there. So SAP doesn't, as I told you, we don't do LLMs. People today, every week, every month, you have a new LLM that's better than the previous one. The IQ of this is better than this, and so on. So this is something very important, that going back to the basics, you create the right platform, and then you have the partners that will be helping you to achieve what you need in terms of technology itself. And then, of course, you need to make sure the market, if I'm talking from a business perspective, is ready, and the customers will really use this technology that you are providing to them. So really, it's if you don't have this type of collaboration and type of adoption across all these stakeholders, for sure it will not work, or it might work, but it will not give you the results that you want.
We've talked a bit about the future. Going back to sort of today, we're in 2026, we're a couple of months in. If you were to set the agenda for the rest of the year, what conversations must we start having around the ecosystem?
One of the key challenges we have for the previous many years here in the country, to be fair, and this is a common problem not only in UAE, it's in the whole region, because of this innovation mindset, and we want always to achieve something that needs maybe 1 year in 1 month or 2 months and so on, is the quality of resources in the market. So there's big shortage in quality resources. And now if we talk about AI, that's a bigger challenge we have today. It doesn't mean other parts of the world, they don't have the same problem. They have it, but in different levels. Um, so one of the key things, I mean, that we should focus on is how we can attract more and upskill as well the existing talent to fill this gap. Having quality resources who will deliver quality job and so on is key for the success of any project or the failure of the project itself. Um, so for me personally, and I work on daily basis with my channel team who are handling all the partners and so on, to make sure we train, we invest in the partners, helping them to get the right resources. And even during the delivery of the projects, I can tell you, I personally sit with at least 15, 16 steer calls at a certain point of time where I attend. I make sure the project is going in the right way, because as SAP, we cannot deliver all this. We need to have all those partners with us. The challenge is how we make sure the quality of the deliverables are in the right way. And now with AI, it's in one angle, it's making it fixing part of the problem, because you will depend less on people. But at the same time, you need also people who have the skills to run these tools. And this is where we need to invest more in, and we encourage our partner. We do a lot of enablement also to them and so on. While in parallel, we do also stuff with our customers. And one of the unique things we do as at SAP within the organization itself and with our customers and partner as well, we have different programs for different level of expertise. So we have certain projects specifically for fresh graduates. Like in SAP, we have a sales academy, pre-sales academy. I can tell you maybe 50% of my sales team, they are graduates from our academy. These are the future of SAP. And this is a sponsored program globally, by the way, where we every year we have a new members, new fresh graduate joining and so on. And the good thing in UAE, many of those last 2 years, they are Emiratis. So we're focusing on helping the Emiratis also to be in the tech industry and so on. On top of that, we have a program called Young Professional, YPP, where we help fresh graduates. We do it twice a year, like batch of 30 to 40 people. We get them certified in 3-4 months, and we help them to find job with our customers, partners, and within SAP. So 100%, more than so far last few years, more than 1,000 applicants, graduates from this program. They already having jobs in different organizations. We work with universities very closely. As I told you, we have an alliance with many of the universities in UAE and globally, where SAP is part of it, to help before they graduate, that they know what we are talking about AI and what it means in the business context and so on. So really, I mean, it has to be this full ecosystem. Of course, we do a lot of stuff with partners. Like even we have a sales engineering academy where we send the experienced people or the IT, the technical people of our customers to go to US, to our labs in US, in Germany, and so on, to also get the latest and get the enablement they need for AI or any other technology that might be needed within their businesses. So this is for us now becoming business as usual. We have to do that. We have to make sure we are making our ecosystem very solid. And as I said, with AI, it's different type of a challenge, but this is really the focus.
I love the different elements you've thought of to build in that ecosystem. So we have a signature closing question. As AI becomes more embedded in how we work, what does connection mean to you in the age of AI? And how can we strengthen it together as we move forward to 2030?
The result of AI should be to help us to be happier and living a better life. If you are in a business or if you are in your personal life, we have to make sure the human touch is there and the empathy is there. And we have to make sure as well that uh, we are going with the same pace as this technology is moving. I gave an example recently that I told you I've been here in UAE more than 27 years. So I learned AI in university in 1998, 99, that time. And at that time, they told us the infrastructure is not ready to practice any of what we taught you at that time. So this is the time now. I mean, we're living where the infrastructure is there to apply what we learned in the university and so on. So going back to your question, we have to make sure we are using and building the right AI platform for organizations, making sure the human empathy and collaboration is there, and minimizing the fear of this new technology with all the people and all the stakeholders that will be dealing with. Technically, every single person on earth will be dealing with AI. So we have to make sure we are creating the right collaboration and uh, helping in the change management, if you want, very quickly. So we really benefit and we really have a happy world and peaceful world at the end.
Marwan, thank you so much for joining us on AI Trust Talks. And I'm really looking forward to SAP Connect Day.
Thank you, Emma.